Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today, we're plunging into a really extraordinary and I think often overlooked collection of ancient Buddhist verses, specifically from Dukanipāto.
Right.
Now, these aren't just, dry historical texts. They're short, incredibly potent reflections, declarations even, of profound liberation, and predominantly from early Buddhist nuns.
Which is fascinating in itself.
Absolutely. You'll find timeless wisdom here on, well, the human experience, how to truly overcome challenges, and these sometimes surprising paths to inner peace. What's truly striking, I find, is how relevant these individual struggles and breakthroughs feel, even, thousands of years later.
It's amazing, isn't it, how these really brief verses manage to capture such profound journeys. Each one is like a concentrated nugget of wisdom.
Exactly.
Offering a direct window into the minds of these practitioners. It reveals the diverse routes they took to inner peace. It really challenges our assumptions about what it means to be well-informed about human liberation.
Absolutely. So our mission with this deep dive is basically to extract those most important nuggets of knowledge, of insight, by looking at how different individuals articulated their unique journey, from suffering to liberation.
Yeah.
We're going to hear from a range of voices, and maybe we should start with some foundational advice from the Buddha himself.
Indeed. We find the Buddha repeatedly offering this direct guidance to an individual named Nandā. He was still in training at the time.
Okay.
And the advice is pretty stark, direct. He tells Nandā, look, Nandā, at this heap, sick, impure, putrid.
Wow. Straight to the point.
Very. It's a call to contemplate the body's true nature, to cultivate a focused mind on its impermanence and impurity.
So it's not about hiding the body, is it?
No, not at all. The insight here is crucial.
Yeah.
It's about understanding impermanence so deeply that the attachment we have to the fleeting beauty of form, it starts to dissolve.
Right. Seeing beyond the superficial, beyond what society often tells us is desirable or important. What else did the Buddha advise Nandā?
Well, precisely that. Beyond this direct contemplation, he advised him to cultivate the signless, or animitta.
Animitta.
Yeah. Think of it as letting go of all the mental constructs, the labels, the signs that our minds just habitually create and cling to.
Okay.
And crucially, Nandā was told to abandon conceit, mano nusaya mujaha.
Conceit. Like arrogance.
It's deeper than just arrogance. It's that subtle underlying assumption of I am or I exist in relation to others or even to our own self-identity.
That fundamental sense of me.
Exactly. By letting go of these, the Buddha taught, Nandā would walk in peace. So the profound insight for us today, I think, is that true peace comes not from gaining something, but from releasing our most fundamental, often unconscious mental habits and self-identifications.
Okay, so moving from that foundational advice to what sounds like a moment of ultimate achievement, we get this incredibly powerful declaration from an unnamed individual.
Yeah.
You can almost feel the conviction in this next statement. The 7 factors of enlightenment, the path to nibbana, all of these have been cultivated by me as taught by the Buddha. That's quite a statement.
It's incredibly bold. Definitive, a statement of completion.
Yeah.
This speaker asserts not only having cultivated these profound factors, but also declares, I have seen the Blessed One. This is my last body. The cycle of rebirth is exhausted. There is no further becoming.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. The 7 factors of enlightenment.
Right. So those are qualities like mindfulness, investigation of phenomena, energy, rapture, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. Really core Buddhist concepts.
Mm-hmm.
When they're fully cultivated, they lead to nibbana. And nibbana itself, it's important to remember, isn't a place. It's the complete cessation of craving and suffering, a profound state of inner peace and freedom achieved right here, right now.
So not some future heaven.
Exactly. So for this individual to declare, this is my last body, and that the cycle of rebirth is exhausted, it isn't some prediction. It's a statement of their present irreversible liberation from all forms of suffering and rebirth.
Yeah.
It signifies a complete inner transformation.
Wow. Okay, now let's shift gears a bit. To Jentī. Her declaration is, well, it's a bit more metaphorical, isn't it? And surprisingly relatable. She cries out, well freed, well freed. I am well freed from the pestle.
Face lightly, yeah.
When I first read that, my immediate thought was, okay, is she just happy about finishing her chores? Like finally done grinding the grain?
It's a great initial reaction.
Yeah.
And it perfectly highlights the genius of these verses, I think. While it might sound like simple relief from a mundane chore,
Yeah.
the pestle here is widely understood as this powerful metaphor for the relentless, grinding toil of daily life, especially the domestic duties that often weighed so heavily on women in that era.
Ah, okay. So it's symbolic.
Very much so. But the insight for us isn't just about physical labor. It's about the mental and emotional attachment to that endless grind. Jentī's freedom isn't just from the task itself, but from the suffering within it.
So the real nugget here is that she found liberation within the mundane, not by escaping it.
Precisely.
That really challenges us, doesn't it? To see that freedom isn't always about changing your external circumstances.
But about radically shifting your internal relationship to them. Yes.
Okay.
And her verse clarifies this. She describes actively dwelling, cutting off lust and hatred. She found profound happiness meditating under a tree, declaring, "Oh, what happiness! I meditate in happiness."
So the practice was key.
Absolutely. And there's also that line about her parasol being shameless or her cooking pot being from her poverty. It suggests this radical detachment from material concerns, an embrace of a simpler life without worrying about appearances or possessions.
Finding peace right there, in the middle of it all.
Exactly. By transforming her inner landscape.
Okay, so from the specific and relatable, like the pestle, to, well, the unknown, we encounter the journey of an unknown elder nun.
Right. Aḍḍhakāsī.
She references a past related to a tax or duty in the Kasi country. She says something like, "As much as was my tax, the guild put a value on me and then placed me where I was of no value." It sounds like she had quite a significant, maybe burdensome role in society, possibly connected to finance or maybe even some kind of indentured servitude. It's a bit unclear.
It's a poignant glimpse into a very different life she must have led. Her past identity, whatever it was exactly, was clearly one of being valued or maybe devalued by purely external circumstances.
But that past gets completely superseded, doesn't it?
Utterly. By her profound spiritual transformation, she declares her disenchantment with form. Then I became disenchanted with form. Being disenchanted, I became dispassionate.
A real turning point.
And her resolve is absolute. May I not wander again and again in the cycle of rebirth. She culminates with this really powerful statement of attainment. The three knowledges have been realized. The Buddha's teaching has been done.
The three knowledges, what exactly does that encompass? Why is it such a sort of pinnacle of achievement?
Right, so the three knowledges, or tisavijja, typically refer to, first, the knowledge of one's own past lives.
Okay.
Second, the knowledge of the arising and passing away of beings according to their karma, seeing how that whole process works.
Right.
And third, crucially, the knowledge of the destruction of all mental defilements, liberation itself.
So complete awakening.
Yes, realizing these signifies a complete and irreversible awakening. So this unknown nun, despite a past possibly defined by external valuation, utterly redefined her worth through deep internal realization. It's a powerful testament, really, that profound liberation is accessible to anyone, regardless of their past.
What an incredible transformation. And speaking of transformations against the odds, we have these two distinct but remarkably parallel accounts, Aḍḍhakāsī and Cittā.
Yes, these are quite striking side by side.
Both describe themselves as incredibly frail. Aḍḍhakāsī says she's emaciated, sick, extremely weak. And Cittā is suffering, weak past her youth. Yet despite these really severe physical limitations, both of them climb a mountain, leaning on a staff. The sheer grit there, the determination is palpable.
It truly is inspiring. Their physical suffering just didn't deter their spiritual pursuit at all.
Not one bit.
And they both then describe this very specific action, having laid down their outer robe and overturned their bowl.
Right, that gesture. What's the significance there?
Well, it isn't just practical like setting things down. It signifies a complete letting go, a readiness to achieve liberation without any worldly attachments left. They're shedding everything, preparing for a total inner reset.
Wow, all in.
Completely.
And the results of this unwavering resolve despite such immense physical challenges.
Well, for Aḍḍhakāsī, she leaned against a rock and, the text says, she broke through the massive darkness.
What a powerful image.
Isn't it? Almost visceral, like an internal obstacle just utterly shattered.
And Cittā.
Cittā, sitting on a rock, recounts, then her mind was liberated. The three knowledges have been attained. The Buddha's teaching has been done. Same attainment as the unknown nun.
Incredible.
Both narratives just powerfully underscore that even immense physical hardship cannot stop profound spiritual achievement when there's that unwavering resolve,
Yeah.
and that willingness to let go of everything. It's a reminder, maybe, that our greatest obstacles can often become the very proving ground for our deepest breakthroughs.
Absolutely. Okay, next up we turn to Mettikā. Her journey showcases a really fundamental shift in her deepest desires.
Yes, this one's about motivation.
Initially, she meticulously observed Uposatha days. You know, the quarter moon, full moon, eighth day observances.
Standard practices.
Right. And she delighted in the prospect of rebirth in divine abodes. She was practicing with a clear motivation, basically, for a heavenly reward.
Yes, and that's a pretty common initial motivation for many spiritual practitioners, isn't it? Seeking a better future existence, better circumstances.
Makes sense. But Mettikā's profound transformation leads her to this remarkable declaration.
It's quite the turnaround.
She says, "Today, shaven and robed, I do not long for divine abodes, having removed the dart in my heart."
The dart.
Yeah, the dart. That's craving, attachment.
Exactly. Craving, attachment, clinging. She's no longer seeking a future reward or some heavenly destination. She's found complete peace and fulfillment right here in the present moment, having rooted out the very desire that once fueled her practice.
So her values just completely transformed.
Totally. It's a classic example of shifting from sort of external desire to internal abiding liberation.
That's a really powerful statement about changing one's core values. Now, for Mittā, her path seems very direct, involving a specific meditative practice that some might find quite challenging.
It certainly was direct. Mittā describes reflecting on the body as impure and foul-smelling. She advises, "Mother, from the soles of the feet upwards and from the hair of the head downwards, contemplate this body as impure and foul-smelling."
That sounds intense.
It is, but this direct contemplation of the body's impermanence and, frankly, unattractive nature. It's not about self-deprecation or disgust. That's not the point.
Okay, so what is the key insight then?
The insight is that by truly seeing the body as it is, a temporary collection of elements subject to decay, one develops dispassion towards it. And by extension, dispassion towards the fleeting sensual pleasures that are tied to it.
Right, breaking that attachment.
Exactly. And this then leads to a very clear outcome for her.
Which was a profound sense of release, I imagine.
Precisely. She states, "Dwelling in this way, all lust was uprooted, feverishness was cut off, I have become cooled, extinguished."
Feverishness, like the agitation of craving.
Yes, exactly. The agitation, the disquiet caused by craving and desire. By confronting the reality of the body head on, she uprooted the source of that attachment and inner turmoil. It's stark, maybe, but an incredibly effective path to inner calm. It really emphasizes that confronting reality, even the uncomfortable aspects, can lead to profound, unshakable peace.
Okay, our final two accounts for this deep dive come from Abhayamātā and Abhayattherī, and they seem to highlight the triumph of, well, just sheer diligence.
Yes, persistence is key here. Abhayamātā speaks of mindfully accepting the fragile body, saying, "Abhay, the body is breakable."
Acknowledging impermanence again.
Right, and her determination to lay down this body, fully knowing and mindful.
And both she and Abhayattherī emphasize achieving the destruction of craving, right? And completing the Buddha's teaching through their diligence.
Exactly. Diligence, Abhayamātā. Abhayattherī offers a particularly poignant account of her struggle, which I think many of us can probably relate to.
How so?
She recounts, 4 or 5 times I went out from the monastery, not having found peace of mind, my mind being unmastered.
Oh, wow. So she kept trying and failing?
Yeah, she was actively trying, putting in the effort, but her mind just kept running away from her. She couldn't find that peace, that control.
That sounds like a pretty universal experience for anyone who's ever tried to meditate or even just, focus on a difficult task, that feeling of frustration when your own mind feels like a wild horse.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But she persevered. She kept at it. And her breakthrough came, quite dramatically it seems. On that 8th night, my craving was utterly uprooted.
The 8th night,
Oh.
after all that struggle.
Exactly. It perfectly encapsulates how sustained, diligent effort, even through repeated struggle and apparent failure, ultimately leads to liberation. It's not about instant gratification at all. It's about tenacious, mindful persistence.
What an incredible collection of experiences from Dukanipāta we've managed to touch on today. Just Wow, we've seen this incredible range of personal journeys, haven't we?
Really diverse.
From that direct advice from the Buddha on confronting the body's nature, to the triumph over immense physical frailty, from symbolic freedom found in the mundane, like with the pestle, to those profound shifts in core values, like Mettikā giving up the desire for heavenly realms.
Yeah.
These aren't just historical figures from ancient texts. They feel like powerful archetypes of human striving that somehow resonate really deeply even today. So I guess the question is, what does this all mean for you?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, I think the source material unequivocally showcases that liberation or deep understanding, it isn't some singular easy path. Not at all.
Right, no magic formula.
No, it's a journey of diligent self-reflection, of overcoming challenges both internal and external, and ultimately a profound shifting of one's core values. Each verse, each one of these nuggets of profound personal transformation confirms that diverse efforts, different approaches, they can indeed lead to the same profound peace.
So many paths, same summit, perhaps.
Something like that. And this, I think, raises an important question for you, the listener, to consider. What aspect of your own life, maybe a perceived limitation, maybe a persistent struggle you have, or even a cherished desire, what might actually be the very mountain you need to climb or the pestle you need to find freedom from? That thing which, if approached with mindfulness and diligence, could lead to your own profound liberation and deepest insight. It's something to mull over, perhaps, until our next deep dive.